Hey, Virgo, Mel, Intuitive Coach here. Excited to bring in your June 2025 career and money reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome, Virgo. You are moving out of an experience that no longer fulfills you emotionally. You are moving on to a more enriching, more spiritually focused and centered dynamic. And I feel like you've gone through some difficulties here. So you do have the skull card showing up, Virgo. This is a rough patch, but bottom of the deck, you have the King of Earth. This is the King of Pentacles. So I feel like this is a big month of focusing on success, focusing on finances here. And right below it, you have the Messenger of Air. So this is the Knight of Swords. There's action here this month towards your stability after going through a bit of a rough patch. Some of you felt like you had to either borrow money, maybe there was a loan that you were working on paying off, a mortgage, you may have dipped into savings, or you just were low on cash. And I also see some of you may have come to this reading unemployed or out of work, or you haven't felt like there's been a lot of growth and you've been reinventing yourself. Some of you may have even gone through a personal situation, such as a death that has impacted you emotionally, mentally, and even physically. And I feel like you may also be tapping into your own healing abilities. You may be a healer. You may also use your healing abilities in your profession, but I feel like you are reclaiming a part of yourself that may have felt a little bit stuck in the past, because you have the caution card here. This is the current energy of being careful not to overspend on wants instead of needs. Some of you may even be finding that there's more money going out than maybe coming in, and you're using caution here when making financial decisions. And that's what that King of Pentacles does. He works smarter, not harder. You are someone who is very reliable, very disciplined, very mature. I feel like you have worked your way up the ladder here, whatever that may mean in the corporate world or within your own business structure, but you may be reining it in a little bit at this time and trying to focus on your long-term goals, your retirement or savings. You may have a plan for your future, and I feel like you've been cautious to not overdo it here. You've been maybe budgeting and not buying anything that doesn't align with some of your goals in the far off distance. Now, you also have here spirituality showing up, and this is about you stepping into this portal. I feel like there's a portal coming in here where you may even be using money magic spells to increase wealth and prosperity. What does that mean? Basically words, right? Words are spells. That's why they call it spelling. And I see here that you're being mindful of the words that you are putting out into the universe, but this is also working as either a spiritual advisor, a healer, a tarot reader, or anything in the occult. So you may be guided here to move in a new direction, maybe even leave your current employment at some point so you can veer off in this direction and fully live your purpose here, which aligns more with maybe a spiritually based nature or business or anything that feels more fulfilling. You are being guided to discover your unique spiritual path right now. Yeah, because you have gone through some changes. Some of you, this is an ego death. For others of you, you want to put an end, or you have put an end to a situation of the past, or this is also about you being able to reinvent a part of yourself that felt like you had to stay small in some way, Virgo, like you had to stay in that job because that's all you knew, or you feel like you had to take care of your children. You had responsibilities. Therefore, you weren't able to focus your energy towards writing your book or growing your yoga business or whatever it may be here. I just feel like there were some struggles and trials and tribulations that you've gone through. But I see here that you are embracing your powerful side here. You are stepping more into your spiritual self instead of letting the ways of the world kind of harden you at times or keep you fear-based or keep you on lockdown. Now you have the mechanic at the bottom of the deck, and the mechanic says, mend what needs mending. It might be broken, but all is not lost. You may feel broken at times. You may feel like you are lost at times. You may even be in a career in automotive, maybe mechanical, it can be repair technician or even aerospace. But I do feel like you also have had some things break down either within the home or your vehicle, and you may have needed repair or maintenance, and it's taken some of the money here. So now you're being extra cautious about what you spend on because you had to pay off that bill or you had to purchase that appliance or a new part for a vehicle. You can easily fix your finances, but a sacrifice may be needed. Yeah, I definitely see that you're going to get back to a place here of growth, of abundance, and being able to feel like you're in control of things again, and really being disciplined is what I see for you this month. Even though, yes, there's fun. And yes, you're going to be able to play a little bit. It doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg. So we have here the Eight of Cups as your starting energy. So the Eight of Cups is cutting ties, moving on to a more emotional experience, a more fulfilling career. The Eight of Cups is my Eat, Pray, Love card. And if you've ever watched the movie with Julia Roberts or read the book, I believe that you are ready. I believe that there may even be at times a little bit of resistance because you do have some emotional overlap to a job, a person, or an experience. What does that mean? It means that there are still some strings, some emotional strings that may be holding you back from fully taking that leap forward in a new direction. So when the Eight of Cups shows up, let's cut those ties that hold us back. Let's move on towards the discovery here, the independence, the quest for something deeper. This is more meaningful to you. And so I see that there's a new path ahead, and it's directly aligned with the spirituality card because you've gone through something of the past here. The Skull card is in the past position. So you may even be in hospice or healthcare, or you may be taking good care of your own health is what I'm picking up on. It feels like health was a factor. Maybe you took care of an aging parent, or again, it may be health of your children or health of your own self. I just feel like there were other responsibilities that needed tending, and you had to put something on the side or on the back burner. Now, crossing your energy this month, you have the Knight of Cups, the messenger of water. So when this crosses your path here, this is you taking a look at those emotional blocks, those emotional ties, as I just said, and releasing them and saying, what are my beliefs? What are my feelings around a situation? Because remember, the Chariot is driven by emotion, and I feel like you're getting back in control of the driver's seat of your life, and you may have sat in some heavy emotions, but now I feel like you are working through them. You're taking a look at any outdated beliefs that have held you back or kept you small, or if you've been playing it safe. I just see here that you may be listening to your own intuition. You see that she's looking right there at that beautiful seahorse, and the seahorse is delivering a a message, but she must be still. She must be present. And I feel like the message has to do with the pearls. You see that she has all of these beautiful pearls around her. And how are pearls formed? They're actually formed when there is an invader or an outside energy trying to get into the oyster. The oyster actually secretes this white substance that hardens. So basically, it is a healed wound. So I feel like you are healing a wound here of the past, and you now have the pearl showing up as this beautiful new experience that you are embracing. So taking a look at anything that no longer aligns with you or any areas that you feel dissatisfied in, and say, okay, what is the underlying belief or energy, and what is my intuition telling me? How can I move forward? So you're also receiving guidance on the how, but you are most importantly trusting in the journey with the spirituality card here. Now, Virgo, what's below you here? The Hanged Man. That's why some of you felt stuck. Now, when I first started reading tarot, the Hanged Man, every time that came up, I'm like, ugh, the Hanged Man, because I can be a bit impatient at times. And the Hanged Man can keep us feeling very stuck. And if you're like me, you like things to move along and not feel stuck in situations. But oftentimes, I've realized now that the Hanged Man it's not necessarily bad. It's not negative. It actually allows us to look at something from a new angle or a new perspective. It is the jigsaw puzzle of our life, of our experience. And even though we have looked at all of the pieces and it just feels like none of those pieces fit into where you want it to go, you may be overlooking it because of distractions, right? You may be overlooking the piece that could be right in front of you. That may be the missing piece. And that's why the Knight of Cups is showing up here. The messenger of water with the pearls, because there is a beautiful blessing that may be right in front of you. But if we're too distracted, you may not see it. But the universe is co-creating with you, right? Spirit is our biggest manifesting partner. And so I feel like you are meeting in the middle here. And there is something quite profound showing up because we have the Empress. In the recent past here, this is about you awakening your abundance, the flow of energy showing up. So you may have recently started to see an increase here in your money flow, an increase in your creative juices. This can also be you birthing a new cycle into existence. And I feel like you are ready, but you may have gone through that gestation period with the Hanged Man. Right? You had to nurture and grow something before you could put it out into the world. And instead of, let's say, the typical 9 months of a growth period, and that's for, a baby in the belly, I feel like this has been like 32 months. And you're like, okay, well, this is something that I wanted to have done a long time ago, but why am I still sitting in it? It just doesn't feel right. Do I still want this? Or, maybe it's because of distractions or other responsibilities here that have come out. But I see here that you're ready, and it feels like it comes out of the blue with this Empress. But remember, she is the most abundant, creative, fertile, loving, nurturing energy there is. So this is you tapping into that divine feminine within yourself, male or female, it doesn't matter. But this is about receiving. The divine feminine receives. She doesn't go out there chasing, right? But she receives the information, the energy, and the love that she needs. And she nurtures and waters her own garden, because that's how the abundance flows. It starts within. And you have here above you the Four of Fire. This is the Four of Wands. I love the Four of Wands, especially in the upright position and in your potential, because this is a celebration. For some of you, you're going to be celebrating here a new home. This can be stability in your career. For others of you, this may even be like your soul tribe where you're able to connect with others, with clients, with community, and that can help you grow your business or help you grow your finances. You may even be focusing on like a specific group. For example, King of Earth, Dave Ramsey comes to mind. He is a expert on money and can really help you get out of debt. He works by or swears by the baby steps. So you may be following some sort of financial guide or guru in a way that could help you. Some of you are also tapping into the energy of maybe a coach or a mentor or a guide. If that's not you yourself, you could be learning at this time. But I see that there's a big celebration here, a big win. This is also cooperation. This is support and harmony. It's also the 1111 energy. So I definitely feel like there's a wish manifesting for you. Now, in the near future, Virgo, you have the Page of Earth. There's a message. There's a powerful message, a new offer, or a new skill that you are training for, that you are tapping into with this Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page here of Pentacles is very hardworking. He is someone who invests in himself. He is someone who wants to learn new skills. He's very goal-oriented. He's very practical. But I also see some of you, yes, you've been reflecting on your commitments. I see that here because you've gone through a lot and you've been cautious as well with your energy, even cautious with your money and cautious with protecting your space. And the Page of Pentacles is showing up here, I feel, as a new message for you that is guiding you to consider like either additional education or to consider this new path. And that's why the 8 of Cups is your primary energy, because this is what you've been wanting. It's what you've been aligning with that spirituality card. So expect some sort of call or news, an email. This could also be a message from spirit that shows up on a billboard or a song on the radio, or you may overhear a conversation and it may deliver you the answer that you've been seeking. So I love that there's a good message coming in here for you. Now, you also have in your energy the 8 of Fire. The 8 of Fire is momentum. It's messages and communication, but it's also about realigning. So that's what's happening is you are realigning your energy here in order to prepare for movement. It could be a literal move for some of you. You may be relocating. You may be in the travel or communication industry. You may even be contemplating like Airbnb. I think I mentioned this earlier, or traveling from anywhere in the world, traveling remotely, working from home. But I feel like communication is key. You don't want to miss out on this beautiful offer. So if you have a sit down with someone, or if you are collaborating or connecting, make sure that you are asking questions as well, and that you are engaged fully in the conversation. Try not to let your mind get distracted. So it may benefit you if you do have a big, conversation that's showing up, or a big meeting of some sort. Maybe meditate or silence the mind in some way if you can before this big meeting, and maybe even work with Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye can be fantastic when you are either studying, taking a test, or going in for an interview, or there is communication. Maybe you are speaking to an audience, or you're putting on like a class, or maybe even theater arts. I'm getting something with theater arts showing up as well, or creative arts. Tiger's Eye can benefit you. So there is progress here. There's momentum picking up after things may have felt a bit slow. Now you have the Emperor showing up in your environment. So this is powerful. Not only do we have you embracing your divine feminine, that's the work that you've done in the past. I see here now that you are embracing your divine masculine. Now it's go time. Now it's time to take what you've been learning internally and you're starting to see it manifesting because you're taking action here in the outer world. So there's a beautiful alignment here of divine masculine and feminine coming together. Now, of course, you could be partnering up as well with another individual. You may be partnering up with another company here. The Emperor feels very strong, very disciplined, very orderly, and very stable. It could even be a partnership in your marriage, where this could be like a family business here, or you may be taking some big choices, big decisions, like should we sell a home? Should we buy a home? Should we, relocate our family? So the divine Empress and Emperor certainly could be you and a partner talking about some financial changes or goals that are occurring. So I love these two counterparts in the upright position coming together, because really when they come together, whether this is something within yourself or it is another energy, I mean, it's a powerful duo. It's a complete duo where you can overcome and you can really climb some big mountains here. Now, in your hopes and fears, you have the 9 of Swords in reverse. You're letting go of anxieties, sleepless nights, tossing and turning, worst case scenario. So some of you really let that monkey mind get the best of you. And no wonder with, the Skull card in the past, you may have gone through a very rough situation. And that Hanged Man, sometimes we fester in the Hanged Man energy and we start to feel so stuck that it drives us crazy. That's why I often say the Hanged Man is like being in a straitjacket and trying to fight your way out of that straitjacket. Now, I've never been in one personally, but I can only imagine how frustrating it would be to try to, finagle your way out of it. And that's why sometimes it's important to, instead of trying to fight to get out of it, look at your surroundings, look at who's around you, look and see how you can see things from a new angle, maybe ask for help or work on releasing yourself in other ways than just struggling. And that's what you're doing here. So I'm proud of you for taking those steps, because your outcome is the 3 of Swords in reverse. So the 3 of Swords in reverse is about you releasing some sort of disappointment. You are really healing those unresolved emotional ties that we've been talking about here, because there's been some sort of disconnect between you and your own intuition, because sometimes emotions can override and we feel like things are out of our control, right? But the 3 of Swords here is about, you opening up to being able to trust. If there was a closed off energy, I feel like you're opening back up, even if it feels little by little. And some of you, COVID was a significant time, or 2020, where everything shut down, and maybe there was a part of you that went through some hardships or some changes at that time, and it's taken a little bit of time to kind of come back from that. But I see that you are doing a great job at healing and evolving and using what you've learned in the process here to create a better life for yourself. So trust that with this King of Earth, which is you, the King of Earth here, Virgo energy, you are taking things into your own hands. You're feeling back, or at least moving in a direction where you feel more confident about who you are, the skills that you have, and stability. And I certainly see that there could be a new job offer coming in here, or some new support. There may even be a celebratory energy after waiting for so long. Some of you may have put a house on a market and you've been waiting for it to sell, or maybe you've wanted to buy. It just feels like it's a long time coming win for you with the King of Earth after a lot of disappointment. So the messenger of air is action. So once this message comes in, it's like it's go time. So you may want to prepare yourself, because things are going to pick up speed here. And I see that you're also dressing to impress. You have the dress to impress card. So not only are you physically prepared, but I feel like you're going to knock their socks off, or there's going to be something that really impresses you, or you impress another energy or another individual. So you are confident here. You're at your best. And I feel like it shines through, Virgo. You have some beautiful unexpected income coming in. So even though I see that Three of Swords showing up here, the Three of Swords, if there's some unexpected income, you may be throwing it towards debt, or you may be paying something off, or it could be a win, but it still feels like, okay, I still need more. But try not to get caught in that more mindset. I feel like it's celebrating all of the wins. You have what it takes to see those numbers climb, whatever that may mean for you, because looking at this graph, you actually see a huge increase. So there may be an increase in sales, there may be an increase in profit, or just an increase here in money. Now you also have huge decisions to make in the month here of June. And I feel like those decisions, though, are balanced with that divine masculine and feminine. I feel like you're going to make the choice that's in the highest good, that's going to get you out of feeling disappointed here. Or a decision externally outside of you is going to be made where you're able to kind of let down those walls a little bit. You're able to not feel as disappointed as maybe you were in the past. And there's going to be some benefits, whether these are employee benefits. This could also be, I'm getting like insurance. Maybe some of you are insurance agents, or you work for a company that has some good, strong pension plans or health insurance. There may be achievements and rewards here. This could be what you're partnering up with. There may be benefits here to it. Now, it doesn't have to be the traditional sense of benefits. Benefits for you could be flexibility. It could be having more freedom. Perhaps it's working from home. But I see that there are incentives and benefits that are going to push you in this direction in a way. You're going to say, okay, weighing up cost, determining value, those benefits are looking good. I'm going to say yes. So, of course, trust your intuition above all. But I definitely see that the Four of Wands is bringing in some collaborative efforts to work on your behalf to kind of get you out of that Three of Swords. All right. I also see something with a home. So maybe there is a family home. If someone has crossed over, you may even be going through that home, or it's been inherited, or perhaps you're getting rid of it altogether. I just see something with like a family dynamic as well. Maybe a mother and father. We have All That Glitters, and this card has been coming up often, which is interesting because the All That Glitters card here is saying don't chase after shiny things, because you're also being mindful of other people wearing masks. I think you are the third sign to get this card for the month of June. So there certainly could be a shift in maybe the global news or the energies. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything that you hear. A need to see beyond the superficial. The desire to don a mask or dress something up to disguise its true nature. So again, you may be dealing with someone who's tried to wear a mask, but that's why the skull is showing up here, because this is bare bones. This is saying, yes, there's been a rough patch here, but through this peeling back of the layers, you've had to reinvent yourself. You may have been connected to an energy where someone was trying to be something they weren't. Okay, it's only human to want to adorn oneself in trinkets and paint a pretty picture of oneself. It's natural to want to acquire the trappings of status or to deny them as a statement of rebellion. But if it sparkles, is it better? Whether it's a fast car, a big house, a title or position, the stamp of authority, or the sparkling of diamonds, these icons let you know something about a person, place, or thing. Or do they? The truth is that people seek to acquire things because of what they will do for them and how they symbolically will elevate them and make them more attractive. This card signals that it's time to see beyond the adornments and probe underneath the surface. That's that emotion that keeps showing up here in your reading. Learn to recognize the masks people wear and the motives underlying them, including your own. Imagine that all the glitter is gone, and would you still desire the object or the job or whatever it is? And that's what you are being asked here. Is this still a desire? Because oftentimes that's why we don't leave the Eight of Cups, because there's been an emotional attachment to maybe something in the physical, or even though it's, an emotional energy, it can be that we like the status or we like, what it offers us, but it doesn't fulfill us emotionally. So you see the conundrum there? It says here, sometimes an opportunity looks so good that it glitters like gold and you can't resist it. During the American gold rush, everyone hurried west to find their fortune and then deserted entire towns after the mining depleted the gold veins in the earth. So too can you deplete yourself. All right, so there's something here about not staying in this energy feels very depleting. Even if there is, maybe that's the incentive, even if there's some sort of incentive that holds you back. I call that the golden handcuff, Virgo. So sometimes we're in the golden handcuffs where we feel like we have to stay, but it's not fulfilling. If that's the case, I ask you to, really ask yourself, is this bringing me emotional, spiritual satisfaction? Or is it just a paycheck? Is it just the financial piece of it? Because spirituality is a big, big theme for you in the month here of June. Let's get a message from your spirit animals. And at this time, if you can safely do so, Virgo, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale through the nose. Hold it for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and release with a nice deep sigh through your mouth. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky. Perhaps your animal swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, magical, or even mystical. This could be a pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, one that's visited through your dreams, or maybe even in the great outdoors. It could even be a pet that you have currently at your home. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you're ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your power animals, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them in the comment section below. I will enter you into that free reading giveaway where I draw one winner around the 1st of the month and post right back here on the channel. So please make sure you've hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification. All right. Some of you may be 50 years old, 51 years old, or 49. Interesting. We have 49, 50, and 51. You may also be born on the 15th, and you have a rhino spirit here. Overcome any obstacles. And we see that that's what you're doing here. You are overcoming obstacles. You're choosing a new path. And this new path here is authentic, is real, is honest and honorable. You are choosing that energy over superficiality, over chasing after tiny things that don't, I just said tiny, I meant shiny, right? But maybe it was something tiny, like keeping yourself small. But I feel like you are overcoming those blocks or obstacles where you've had to play it safe, or you felt maybe disappointed here with that 3 of Swords. I feel like you're moving on here towards your abundance and your spiritual flow. So Rhino Spirit is here to help you do just that. You have Sandpiper Spirit reminding you to be playful. Sometimes we take life so darn seriously. I tend to do that myself, and I have to then take a step back and say, okay, have we played today, Mel? Let's go splash in the water. Let's go out on the paddleboard. Let's go, sit in the sun and read a good book. What do we need to do to play? And I feel like it's important for you to allow yourself that time and space to not have to worry about the responsibilities, not have to worry about, the discipline. Allow yourself to play and splash and have fun. You may also receive signs through feathers is what I'm getting here, or lily pads could be significant. Perhaps you hear frogs at night. Maybe some of you are going camping. There's something with the lily pad and the frogs that's symbolic here. Next, you have rabbit spirit and cow. I love both of these energies coming together because rabbit spirit says now is a lucky time. You are creating a lucky outcome for yourself because you've been doing the work, you've been manifesting here. So rabbit spirit also multiplies, right? Rabbits are constantly multiplying. So you're going to multiply your abundance here in big ways because your final message is the cow spirit. And cow says the miracles are endless. And miracles are a shift in perspective. There's the hanged man, right? A shift in perspective from fear to love. And you have been stuck at times in fear. We all have, but you are shifting into that love energy and you're going to start to see miracles showing up because they are natural occurrences. They aren't just reserved for life or death, right? They are natural where we can see miracles occurring in our lives daily. And that's what you are tapping into here. All right, let's get a final soul's truth message for you, Virgo. What do you need to know at this time regarding your abundance? We have here, if I had a magic wand and could have anything I desired in life, what would I choose? Burn with desire. There is power in your desires. Let them be your fuel today. Your desires are your soul's wings, and it's time to take flight. Today is soul action. Today, go inward. Your answers lie within. What do you desire? Choose what makes you happy and do that. So again, more of that emotional energy where you're shifting from fear to love. You're choosing to honor your happiness and play and have more experiences that enrichen your life, that bring more abundance to your life. So whatever you've gone through, I see that it's been difficult, it's been challenging, but you are embracing here your authenticity and your truth. And I definitely feel like whatever this is for you, whatever it was that you were just imagining, it is possible, right? It is possible. That is what I have for you, Virgo. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you like the message, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And of course, don't forget to drop your power animals in the comment section below the video. Lots of love.